Good morning and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. So what do we got going on today? Well, we are going to be pulling some fence. Got a hook to our old Ford tractor. It's from like the 50s. It's a better picture of it is in the thumbnail. But yep, that's what we're doing. So come along with me on this journey and enjoy. Yeah, I did kind of set this up for a pretty cool backdrop and for my thumbnail picture. But yeah, now we got to get it turned around and get it up above the fence. So follow me and we'll be doing it right. Okay.
Quick work of that.
Yep. I just didn't get to that one yet.
I love putting down,
Okay.
I must be my mother in me.
So what we have to do.
You've got blueberries in here, right?
Down a little bit.
What's this?
That's berry bush probably. It could be a rose bush or one of those wild roses. If we have to take these down, we have to take these down. So.
Well, the only thing I was saying, this is a locust, yeah.
Yeah, that will get cut out too.
The only thing I was saying, if there's room, I can back the tractor down there and just pull the fence this way.
That's what I figured we were going to do. Probably back it down, maybe after that big tree right down there.
Okay.
And
it's either that or park it here and pull it by hand that way.
No, I think it'd be better to pull it up. That's just my opinion. So we're going to restop this video and figure it out. Hopefully go from there, what we just said. All right, so back at it. What we decided to do, definitely that tree is where we're going to start pulling the fence from. We're going to have to bring it all the way up and bring it up to the fence post, the wooden one, in order to finish putting this in. Now what we have right here, I'm going to try to back out a little bit. There we go. That is a rock pile. It's not as tall as it looks. It's probably maybe 6 feet. But our orchard, which is a mess right now, was full of rocks. And this, we tried to make it into a garden at one point before we turned it into the orchard. When we bought this place, this was all just totally weeds and locust trees and wild different things and crab apples and stuff like that. So when we started pulling out the trees, we ended up pulling a lot of rocks with it, hence why we ended up with this. A bunch of our topsoil went with the rocks, and we have not gotten these rocks moved, and we do need to work on that and do it, but time, you know. At one point we were both working full-time jobs, and Eric's full-time jobs is mainly a 70 to 80 hour a week job. And we got to work to live. At least one of us has to work full-time. So, yeah, the money issue. But I'm going to start moving these rocks out of the fence row. And Eric is off looking for the pipe we need to get the fence on it. And we will come back. Okay. So we cleaned up the row, we raked it and everything. Eric is out there still picking up rocks, and the little hyperlapse you just saw was Eric using a fence post driver. I think that's correct. And the reason we stopped last year when we were working on this, because we hit a spot and we couldn't get any of the fence posts to go in there. So I'm gonna set you up here so you can see us trying to get in another post. I'm going to hyperlapse you. Okay, so what you're seeing here is Eric just cut the wire off the fence, and we're going to have to literally pull it up the hill into up where the fence post is. Hopefully you can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up here. I'm going to hyperlapse you so you can see exactly what we're doing. And hopefully I'll remember to come down and pick you back up so you can see us.
Okay.
So we're literally having to rock this roll. Eric's pulling back and forth and I'm pulling forward, but I am going to hyperlapse you because I may be using some choice words. Eric doesn't cuss like a sailor, but I do sometimes. So heads up, and I'm going to hyperlapse you. Okay, so we've got the fence pulled up along the trees, in between the trees and the fence posts. Reminder, the red line goes on top. And we're going to literally wrap this around and take these big nails and fence nails and pound them in. I am hand holding this, and Eric, show us that nail.
Staple.
Oh, it's a giant staple, excuse me.
Yep.
It's fence staples. So he's going to start at the bottom here, and we're going to pound these in just to hold it very still. So we're going to go ahead and move up and do these. It's too hard to hold the camera and hold the fence, so we'll be back. Okay, I'm actually on the outside of the orchard, and the sun's going down, as you can see from my shadow. It's in the west, but we didn't get it all the way done today. This will be finished next week. I'm going to bring you clear down here. We've been really working to get the fence cleaned up. We had to take the chainsaw to some of the trees that were dying and are already dead, but that got cleaned up. Sorry, the neighbor down here is on his sawmill cutting down stuff, but if you can see this is not, and I'm holding this as I'm walking, this is not put together completely. We just pulled it over. We actually have to stretch it, and that will be next weekend. So this is Sunday. And yeah, so it will stretch it, we'll make it nice and tight, but we wanted to put this up, hoping to give the deer the suggestion of, please don't come into our orchard and eat all of our plants like you did last year. So, and kill any more. But they've been sleeping in here a lot. So they can sleep on the other side of the property where the woods is. All right, so that's what we've got done for today, and we will start again next weekend more than likely. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since we've been back down here putting up the fence. What we are going to do now is we're going to put this, it's called a fence stretcher, on the tractor and actually pull it. And yes, I will show you how to do this. But you literally put the fence right in here. You unbolt these, and I'll give you a close-up view of actually us doing it. But the tractor is starting, so it's going to get a little loud. And yep, should be fun. So we'll be back. I'll show you how to get this all set up. Oh, and for you cat lovers or anybody, this is Stash. He is my garden cat. He's always out here in the garden with me. I'm sure he's going to run though as soon as the tractor gets this way. But here's your close-up, Stash. Can you do it? There you are. You're so pretty, Stash. Look right in the mirror or right in the camera. Yeah, he's my baby. He was a stray, picked up at an animal shelter. My daughter bought him because she wanted a tuxedo, and her other one had passed away. So we got Stash, but he's my garden cat. Okay, so there's your cute moment of the day. All right, so what Eric is doing right here is putting up the fence stretcher. Let me get a little closer here. And this actually comes two parts. And this goes on one side of the fence, and the board goes on the other one. And we have screws here, bolts actually, that get screwed back in. And as you can see, as I'm walking backwards, trying not to trip, Eric's tightening them. So now this will be hooked on to Eric's old Ford tractor here, and we will stretch the fence. I'm going to try to set this up so you can actually see it and get a little bit of a view. And then we're going to be hooking it up with some metal clamps, and I'll show you what those are. And we show you the little tool of how we do this. Okay, so we've got the chain hooked up to this, as you can see, and we have a come along that's attached to the Ford tractor, and Eric is going to start pulling the fence to tighten it. Now you can literally see this starting to go. You see the boards pulling and it's moving, and we will have to pull this to make it really tight so it doesn't flop around, and it'll make it less easy for the deer to jump it and the animals to get underneath of it. So I'm going to stop this and we'll be back. I'll show you some other things that we're doing with this fence. Say good morning, Eric.
Hey. Good morning.
Isn't he handsome? Okay, so we've got it stretched. We had to actually move the Ford tractor. We had to put it so it was actually in front of it instead of on the side of it to make sure we had enough height to be able to pull it. Now, as you can see, the come along and the fence puller. Well, we also have, the neighbor brought over this other piece, and I'm guessing it's some type of fence puller also. He didn't give me a name, but this will actually help stretch the center rows, because the other fence puller just kind of does the top and the bottom, and we were getting too much loose in the center and even on the bottom. So that's straightened out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over here. I'm actually going to show you how to put these clips in. So hang on one second, please. Okay, so we need to make this fence tighter, and I'm sorry if I move you, but I've got this sitting on unlevel ground, and the whole property is on a slant. I think I should have named this place the Slant at Homestead, but we have this, and I'm going to pull it back so you can see it better. This actually gets wrapped around the post, and this is the tool we use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you over here so you can see what I'm doing. We want this piece right here, the bottom, to actually be pointed down. At least I do. That's how I do it. And then I pull this one over as far as I can. Now with this tool, which I'm going to turn you just a little bit more so you can see, I grab a hold of it and I start to pull it over. I need to actually kind of zoom you in a little bit. Hang on one second. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. I hook to the bottom part around this one, and I pull this over here. I pull it down in. Now, once I got it pulled, because I'm not strong enough to do this by hand, I'm going to have to take it through the fence and come up like this, so I don't trap my tool, because I do this often, so then I have to pull it apart. But stick that little hole right in there. My hubby's over there doing the ones behind me. He's much faster at this than I am. So, and then you just pull it right like this. This is not easy to do on a camera. There we go. We got it pulled through. I've got to get it pulled back up through here. And so I need to pull it back out through here and get it to come around underneath. Okay. Now, because these holes start to get tight, then I have to pull this back up over here. There we go. Pull it over a little bit, and we just do this. Yeah, my camera actually shut off again. I guess I bumped it, but there you go. We're hooked up. We're around. So that's sealed. I will actually finish this up, but there you have it. One second. All right, so you can see Eric down there still working, but I want to just tell you, this is what we did. We put up the fence. As you can see it's good and tight, and we'll finish putting the hooks, these guys right here that I just showed you, on the fence. And we've got blueberries to plant today. So for our orchard. So, well, this is Charlie B signing out. And remember, if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Charlie B signing out. And Eric's still working. I love that man. He is sexy. He's going to be pissed off when he sees this video. But remember, this is Charlie B signing out. Like, share, and subscribe. Be seeing you soon.